I was 32 when I realized I'd spent 20 years being my family's unpaid catering service. Started when I was 12 and made brownies for a school bake sale. They sold out in 15 minutes and Mom declared I had the gift. By 13 I was baking birthday cakes for cousins. By 15 I was cooking Thanksgiving sides. By 18 I was responsible for every family gathering's entire dessert spread. By 32 I was apparently the family's personal chef, event coordinator, caterer, server and cleanup crew, all rolled into one convenient, never-complaining daughter. The expectation had calcified into obligations so gradually that I didn't notice until it was already choking me. Every holiday, every birthday, every family gathering, every celebration. If there was food involved, it was my responsibility. Not my job. My responsibility. The difference being that jobs come with paychecks and appreciation. Responsibilities just come with criticism when you fail to meet impossible standards. My sister Caroline never cooked. I'm not good at it, she'd say with a careless shrug as if being bad at something was a valid excuse for never helping. She'd show up to family dinners with a bag of store-bought rolls and somehow that was enough. She was praised for contributing, while I'd spend 3 days preparing a meal that would be consumed in 45 minutes and leave me with 6 hours of cleanup. My brother Marcus was too busy with work. He was a regional sales manager who somehow had time for golf every weekend but couldn't possibly help with a family dinner. My parents had decided somewhere along the way that cooking was my thing, which meant it was entirely my burden. Dad would pat my shoulder and say, "Nobody does it like you, Jen," as if that was payment. Mom would critique every dish, a little dry, too much salt, your grandmother's version was better, while eating 3 portions. But Easter 2024 was when everything crystallized into perfect, infuriating clarity. It was March 10th when Mom called. I was at my actual job. I worked as a food scientist for a restaurant supply company, developing recipes and testing ingredients. Ironic, right? I got paid to create food for strangers but not for family. "Jennifer, we need to discuss Easter," Mom announced without preamble. No greeting, no, "How are you?" just straight to demands. "Okay," I said cautiously. "We're hosting the entire family this year. All 4 branches. I've already invited everyone." My stomach dropped. "All 4 branches? Mom, that's 80 people, give or take. Your Aunt Patricia's bunch is coming from Ohio. Uncle Ray's family from Tennessee. The whole Georgia crew. Plus our local relatives. It'll be wonderful having everyone together." 80 people, I repeated, my voice hollow. "I know it's a big undertaking but you're so good at this. I've already told everyone you're handling the meal." "You told them I'm handling the meal?" "Well, yes. Who else would do it? Caroline can't cook and Marcus is useless in the kitchen. Your father has his golf tournament that week so he'll be preparing for that. I'll be busy getting the house ready for guests. So naturally you're our chef." "Naturally. Mom, cooking for 80 people isn't just making a bigger version of Sunday dinner. That's restaurant-level catering. That's a full commercial kitchen operation." "Oh, don't be dramatic. It's just Easter dinner. Ham, sides, desserts. You've made Easter dinner dozens of times. For 12 people. Not 80. Jennifer, don't make this difficult. The family is counting on you. The family is counting on you." The magic phrase that had ruled my life for 2 decades. The guilt trip that had convinced me to sacrifice countless weekends, hundreds of hours, thousands of dollars in groceries I'd purchased myself because you're already at the store anyway. "When is Easter?" I asked, though I already knew. "March 31st. 3 weeks away. Plenty of time. Plenty of time to plan, shop for, prepare, cook, serve and clean up after a meal for 80 people. By myself. For free. While working my actual full-time job. I'll send you the guest list," Mom continued. "And make sure you do that asparagus casserole, you know, the one with the cheese? And those dinner rolls, the soft ones. Oh, and Aunt Patricia is gluten-free now, so you'll need alternatives. And Marcus's new girlfriend is vegan. Can you do a separate vegan menu? Nothing that looks like health food. She doesn't like to feel singled out. A gluten-free menu. A vegan menu. For 80 people. In 3 weeks. While working 45 hours a week at my actual paying job. Oh, and Jennifer, make it special this time. Last Christmas your mashed potatoes were lumpy." That was the moment. The exact second when something inside me snapped cleanly in half. Last Christmas I'd made mashed potatoes for 35 people from scratch with real butter and cream, while also preparing 2 turkeys, 3 casseroles, a green bean almondine, glazed carrots, homemade cranberry sauce, stuffing, gravy and 5 different pies. And they were lumpy. Because I'd been cooking alone for 11 hours straight and my hand mixer had died halfway through and I'd had to mash 12 pounds of potatoes by hand while simultaneously preventing the gravy from burning. And instead of "thank you," I got criticism. "Sure, Mom," I said, my voice eerily calm. "I'll handle everything. It'll be perfect. That's my girl. I knew I could count on you. I'll text you the list. Love you, sweetie." She hung up before I could respond. I sat at my desk, staring at my computer screen, and felt something I hadn't allowed myself to feel in years. Pure, crystalline rage. Not the hot, explosive kind. The cold, calculating kind. The kind that makes decisions. I opened a new browser tab and searched for flights to the Bahamas. I didn't tell anyone my plan. I learned that from coordinating surprise parties. The key to a successful surprise is absolute information control. For the next 3 weeks I played the role perfectly. I asked Mom for the guest count updates. I requested dietary restrictions. I created elaborate shopping lists and shared them in the family group chat. I discussed menu options with my mother, who had opinions about everything and solutions for nothing. The ham should be honey glazed. No, wait, brown sugar. Actually, what about maple? Can you do 3 different hams so everyone has options? Sure, Mom. And make those little pastry things, the ones with the spinach. What are they called? Spanakopita. Yes, those. Everyone loved those at Caroline's baby shower. Make a lot. How many? I don't know, enough for everyone. You'll figure it out. Enough for everyone. At 1 spanakopita per person, which was absurdly low, that was 80 individual hand-wrapped pastries. Realistically, for appetizers before a meal, you'd want 3 per person. 240 spanakopita. No problem, I said. I made lists. Extensive, detailed, professional-level catering lists. I researched recipes for large quantity cooking. I priced out industrial-sized roasting pans. I calculated cooking times for multiple ovens running simultaneously. I created a detailed timeline. When to start prep work 3 days before. When to begin cooking 2 days before. When each dish needed to enter the oven. When each dish needed to come out, resting times, serving temperatures, everything. I shared all of this with my family. Look how prepared I am. Look how seriously I'm taking this. Look how much I care about making this perfect for you. Nobody questioned it. Why would they? This was what I did. This was who I was. Reliable Jennifer, always coming through, never complaining, the family's personal food miracle worker. Caroline texted me, "The menu looks amazing. Can't wait. I'll bring paper plates all." Paper plates. For 80 people. For Easter dinner. That was her contribution, offered as a joke. Marcus sent a thumbs-up emoji to the group chat. That was his entire engagement with 3 weeks of my supposed labor. Dad said, "Looks good, honey. Don't forget Easter Sunday I'm golfing in the morning, so let's do dinner at 2 p.m. instead of noon." He was golfing. On Easter. The day I was supposedly cooking for 80 people. And he wanted dinner delayed so his tea time wouldn't be inconvenienced. Mom responded, "Perfect. That gives Jennifer extra time in the morning to get everything ready. Extra time. To cook for 80 people. Alone. Sounds great." I replied cheerfully. I was done on March 29th, the Thursday before Easter. I'd arranged everything perfectly. I'd submitted my vacation request at work weeks earlier, taking a long weekend for family obligations. Approved without question. I'd bought my plane ticket using credit card points I'd been hoarding for years. Flight 847 to Nassau, departing 11:47 p.m. on Saturday, March 30th. Landing at 3:52 a.m. on Easter Sunday. I'd booked a beachfront resort for a week. All-inclusive. Meals prepared by someone else, served to me with 0 cleanup required. I'd packed my suitcase Thursday night. Sundresses, swimsuits, sunscreen, a stack of novels I'd been meaning to read for 3 years. On Friday I bought a postcard. A beautiful aerial shot of a Bahamas beach. Impossibly turquoise water, white sand, palm trees. On the back I wrote in my neatest handwriting. "Dear family. Greetings from paradise. Currently enjoying Easter brunch prepared by professional chefs while sitting on a beach. The food is incredible and I didn't have to cook a single bite. I hope you all enjoy your Easter dinner. There should be plenty of restaurants open that deliver. Might I suggest ordering from several places to accommodate the dietary restrictions? Or perhaps Caroline could cook, since she's contributed paper plates to approximately 40 family gatherings without ever actually preparing food. Or Marcus could step up for once, since he's apparently not too busy when it involves activities he enjoys. Or Mom, you could cook the meal you volunteered me to make without asking if I was willing or able. But most likely you'll all stand around an empty kitchen confused and angry, wondering why I wasn't there to serve you. Here's why. I'm done being your unpaid servant. I'm done sacrificing my time, money, and sanity so you can enjoy meals you never thank me for. I'm done being criticized while doing work none of you would ever consider doing yourselves. You wanted Easter dinner? You should have planned Easter dinner. You should have shopped for Easter dinner. You should have cooked Easter dinner. But you didn't. Because you thought I would. As I always do. Not anymore. Enjoy the holiday. I certainly am. Jennifer. I addressed it to my parents' house and mailed it Friday afternoon. First-class mail, guaranteed delivery by Saturday. Then I went home, ordered Thai takeout and watched movies all evening. I slept 10 hours that night, the best sleep I'd had in months. Saturday was gloriously normal. I got coffee. I went to the gym. I got my nails done. I had lunch with my friend Keisha, who knew my plan and thought it was the most justified thing I'd ever heard. They're going to lose their minds, she said, grinning. That's the idea. You're not even a little bit guilty? I thought about it. Really thought about it. No, I said, surprised by my own certainty. I spent 20 years feeling guilty for not doing enough, not being good enough, not making it perfect enough. I'm done with guilt. What do you think they'll do? Panic. Scramble. Probably try to order catering at the last minute and discover that every decent caterer has been booked for Easter for months. Maybe they'll actually have to cook something themselves. More likely they'll order pizza for 80 people and spend the whole day complaining about me. And you'll be face down in the ocean, drunk on rum punch, not thinking about them at all. We clinked our glasses together. You're my hero, Keisha said. At 9 p.m. on Saturday I took an Uber to the airport. I checked my single suitcase, breezed through security and sat at my gate watching my phone, which I would turn off the moment I boarded. The postcard would arrive at my parents' house sometime between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Sunday. Right in the middle of their growing panic when I didn't show up at 8 a.m. to start cooking. At 11:47 p.m., Flight 847 pushed back from the gate. I turned off my phone, accepted a complimentary ginger ale from the flight attendant, and closed my eyes as we lifted into the night sky. By sunrise I was in the Bahamas. By 8 a.m. Easter morning I was checked into my resort, changed into a swimsuit and walking down to the beach. At 10:30 a.m., around the time my family was probably wondering where I was floating in bathwater warm ocean water, staring up at an impossibly blue sky. At 1 p.m., when they were certainly panicking, I was eating conch fritters and drinking a rum runner at a beachside bar. At 2 p.m., when 80 hungry relatives were supposedly arriving to my parents' house, I was getting a massage at the resort spa. I didn't turn my phone on until 8 p.m. that evening after I'd had dinner, someone else cooked it, watched the sunset spectacular, and returned to my room feeling more relaxed than I had in years. 376 missed calls. 842 text messages. 127 voicemails. I poured myself a glass of wine from the minibar, settled into the balcony chair with my phone, and started reading the carnage. The messages came in waves, tracking the evolution of their Easter disaster in real time. 8:15 a.m. Mom, where are you? You should be here by now. 8:47 a.m. Mom, Jennifer, call me immediately. We need to start cooking. 9:23 a.m. Mom, this is not funny. 80 people are coming in less than 5 hours. Where are you? 9:30 a.m. Caroline, Mom is freaking out. Where are you? 10:05 a.m. Mom, I just got your postcard. I cannot believe you would do this to your family. Call me now. 10:12 a.m. Dad, Jennifer and Morrison, you call your mother right now. This is completely unacceptable. 10:15 a.m. Caroline, are you kidding me right now? You're in the Bahamas? 10:30 a.m. Marcus, what the hell, Jen? Mom's crying. Get home now. 10:47 a.m. I'm calling every restaurant in town. Everything is closed or booked. How could you do this? 11:15 a.m. Caroline, I can't believe how selfish you are. You ruined Easter. 11:43 a.m. Aunt Patricia, your mother just told us there's no dinner. We drove 6 hours from Ohio. What is wrong with you? 12:20 p.m. We're ordering pizza. Pizza. For Easter. I hope you're happy. 12:45 p.m. Marcus, everyone is asking about you. This is so embarrassing. You've humiliated the entire family. 1:15 p.m. Caroline, 80 people are eating Domino's pizza on Easter because you decided to take a vacation. You're a terrible person. 1:50 p.m. Uncle Ray, never thought I'd see the day where the Morrison family served pizza on Easter. Your grandmother would be ashamed. 2:30 p.m. People are leaving. They drove hours to be here and we're serving fast food. This is the worst Easter of my life. 3:15 p.m. Dad, you've burned your bridges, Jennifer. Don't expect to be welcome at family events anymore. 4 p.m. Aunt Patricia, we left. Didn't even stay for dinner. 6 hours driving each way for pizza we could have had at home. Thanks for nothing. 5:30 p.m. Caroline, Mom's in her room crying. Dad's furious. Marcus and I had to deal with 80 angry relatives asking where you were. I will never forgive you for this. 6:45 p.m. Marcus, the family group chat is blowing up. Everyone's talking about what you did. You're officially the family outcast. Hope your vacation was worth it. 7:20 p.m. Mom, I just want to understand why. How could my own daughter hurt me like this? What did I do to deserve this cruelty? And then, buried in the avalanche, one message from my cousin Stephanie, who I'd always liked. 3:30 p.m. Stephanie, hey Jen. Saw your postcard. Mom, Aunt Patricia. Let me read it. Just wanted to say, good for you. Seriously. I've watched you cook for this family for years and never get thanked. You deserve that beach. Enjoy every minute. Palm tree. I read through everything twice, sipping my wine, feeling nothing. No guilt. No regret. No urge to apologize or explain or fix it. Just peace. I composed one response to the family group chat. I'm in the Bahamas, as you've discovered. I'll be here for a week. My phone will remain off for most of that time. When I return, I'll be happy to have a conversation with anyone interested in understanding why this happened. But let me be clear right now. I will never cook for a family gathering again unless I'm compensated appropriately, thanked genuinely, and treated with respect. Your emergency is not my responsibility. Your poor planning is not my problem. And your anger at facing consequences for taking me for granted is not my concern. Enjoy the pizza. Then I turned off my phone again and went to get another drink. The week in the Bahamas was exactly what I needed. I swam. I read 4 books. I ate meals I didn't prepare and didn't clean up after. I talked to strangers at the beach bar who thought my escape story was hilarious and justified. I went snorkeling. I watched sunsets. I slept 10 hours every night. I didn't think about my family except to feel a mild, distant satisfaction that they were finally experiencing what it felt like when I wasn't there to manage everything. On day 4, I turned on my phone briefly to check messages. The volume had reduced dramatically. Mom, we need to talk when you get home. Caroline, still not over this. Marcus, whatever. And then, Keisha, girl, you're famous. Your cousin Stephanie posted about what happened on her Instagram story and it went viral on TikTok. People are calling you a hero. There's literally a hashtag Jennifer in the Bahamas with people posting their own stories of family exploitation. You started a movement. Faced with tears of joy. I downloaded TikTok, which I'd never had before, and searched the hashtag. Sure enough, thousands of videos. People sharing stories of being expected to cook for huge family gatherings for free. People showing their own escape plans from family obligations. People raising glasses to Jennifer in the Bahamas hero we all needed. Stephanie had posted the full text of my postcard with a video of the empty Easter table and the pizza boxes. Her caption, my cousin was expected to cook for 80 people alone for free, while the rest of us contributed nothing. He went to the Bahamas instead. This is what we deserved. Stop exploiting your family members' labor and calling it tradition. It had 4.7 million views. The comments were overwhelmingly supportive. The way I would do the same thing. This is what boundaries look like. 80 people? By herself? No ma'am. Jennifer is living her best life and I'm here for it. The family is mad they actually had to face their own entitlement. Why didn't literally anyone else offer to help cook? Alright, because they're all users. There were negative comments too, of course. Family is supposed to help each other. This is so selfish. She could have at least warned them. But Stephanie and hundreds of others were responding to those. She did help for 20 years. They never reciprocated. She did warn them with every shopping list and timeline she sent that nobody else engaged with. This is what happens when you take someone for granted. I took a screenshot of the hashtag, sent it to Keisha and turned my phone off again. I was famous for refusing to be exploited. I'd accidentally become the spokesperson for family boundaries. I could live with that. I flew home on April 7th, tanned and rested and completely at peace with my decisions. My apartment felt like a sanctuary. I unpacked slowly, did laundry, organized my kitchen. The kitchen I controlled, where I cooked only for myself on my own schedule without criticism. On April 8th I turned my phone on fully and kept it on. The message volume had slowed to a trickle. Most of the family had said their piece and were now in the silent treatment phase, which honestly felt like a gift. But there were 3 new messages from the past 2 days. Mom, your cousin made us famous on the internet. People I don't even know are commenting on my Facebook saying I exploited you. I'm getting attacked by strangers. You need to tell her to take it down. Caroline, thanks to you and Stephanie, I'm getting hate messages saying I'm a lazy sister who never helps. This is affecting my life. Fix it. Stephanie, hey, hope you saw the TikTok. Sorry if I made things worse, but honestly I was so mad watching Easter happen. You were right to leave. Let me know when you're back, we should get coffee. Red heart. I responded only to Stephanie. Back now. Coffee this week would be great. And thank you for having my back. I didn't respond to Mom or Caroline. They wanted me to fix their problem. The problem of being publicly accountable for their behavior. That wasn't my responsibility. On April 10th Mom called. I let it ring twice before answering. Hello Mom. Jennifer. Her voice was strained, formal. We need to talk about Easter. Okay. What you did was unacceptable. You embarrassed this family. You humiliated me in front of 80 relatives. You caused your cousin to attack us on the internet. Mom, I interrupted quietly. Let me ask you a question. How much time did you expect me to spend preparing Easter dinner for 80 people? Silence. Because I calculated it. Shopping for ingredients. 8 hours minimum, probably spread across 3 different stores to get everything. Prep work. 20 hours. That's chopping, marinating, pre-cooking, organizing. Cooking day. 16 hours at minimum, probably 20 with overlapping oven schedules and timing coordination. Serving and cleanup. 6 hours. That's 50 hours of work, Mom. That's more than a full-time job for 1 week. And you expected me to do it for free by myself while working my actual job and then criticize the result. You're good at cooking. It's your thing. It's my career. Which is why I understand that what you asked me to do is worth thousands of dollars if you hired a professional caterer. But you didn't want to pay a caterer. You wanted free labor from me like you've gotten for 20 years. We're family. Family helps each other. Family helps each other, I repeated. So why didn't Caroline help? Why didn't Marcus? Why didn't you? Why was I the only one responsible for making Easter happen? Because you're the one who's good at it. So being good at something means I have to do it for free, forever, for everyone else's benefit? I didn't realize you were counting the hours, Jennifer. I thought you enjoyed cooking for family. I did enjoy it, Mom. Past tense. I enjoyed it when it was occasionally, when people appreciated it, when I had help, when someone said thank you. I stopped enjoying it when it became an expectation, an obligation, a thankless burden that I carried alone while everyone else criticized my efforts. She was quiet for a long moment. Then, your father says you're not welcome at the house anymore. Okay. That's all you have to say? Okay. What do you want me to say, Mom? I'm sorry I didn't sacrifice myself for your convenience. I'm sorry I finally set a boundary. I'm sorry I chose myself for once. I want you to understand that you hurt me. And I want you to understand that you hurt me. For 20 years. Every time you took my labor for granted. Every time you criticized instead of thanked. Every time you expected me to drop everything for family while never reciprocating. Every single time you treated my time, my skills, and my effort as worthless. That hurt, Mom. Continuously. For 2 decades. I never meant to hurt you. I know. But intent doesn't erase impact. You didn't mean to exploit me, but you did. You didn't mean to take me for granted, but you did. You didn't mean to make me feel invisible and unappreciated, but you did. And when I finally stood up for myself, you called me cruel. He started crying. I just wanted a nice Easter for the family. Then you should have planned a nice Easter. You should have hired a caterer or organized a potluck where everyone contributed equally, or scaled back to a reasonable size. You had a dozen options. You chose the one where I did everything and you did nothing. What do you want from me, Jennifer? It was a good question. What did I want? I want you to acknowledge that what you asked was unreasonable. I want you to apologize for taking me for granted. I want you to understand that if you want me in your life going forward, things have to change. I'm not your personal chef. I'm not your free caterer. I'm your daughter and I deserve to be treated with respect. And if I don't agree? Then I guess Dad's already made that decision, hasn't he? I'm not welcome at the house. That's fine. I'll build a life without family dinners. I'm already doing that. You'd really cut us off over this? Mom, you cut me off. You cut me off every time you reduced me to a cooking appliance instead of treating me like a person. I'm just making official what's already been true. I'm done being used. More crying. Then, I need time to think about this. Take all the time you need. She hung up without saying goodbye. Over the next month, things shifted in unexpected ways. Stephanie and I became genuinely close. We got coffee, then dinner, then started a weekly tradition of trying new restaurants together. She was the family member I'd always wished I had. Someone who saw me as a person, not a service provider. Caroline sent me a long text 3 weeks after Easter. I've been thinking about what you said and about what people have been saying online. I don't think you're right about everything, but I'm starting to see that maybe we took you for granted. I never thought about how much work you were doing because it always seemed so easy for you. But it probably wasn't easy, was it? I'm not ready to apologize yet, but I wanted you to know I'm thinking about it. It wasn't an apology, but it was a crack in the wall. I take it. Marcus didn't reach out at all. That was fine. We'd never been particularly close. Dad remained firm in his position that I was unwelcome, which honestly felt like a relief. No more obligatory Sunday dinners where I cooked for everyone. No more holidays spent in the kitchen while everyone else relaxed. No more pretending we had a healthy relationship when we clearly didn't. Mom called again in mid-May. I've been talking to a therapist, she said without preamble. About Easter. About you. About our family dynamics. Okay. She said I've been emotionally dependent on you performing specific roles in the family, and that I never gave you permission to be anything other than those roles. She said I exploited your labor and your good nature, and that your reaction was a healthy boundary, not a betrayal. I sat down, stunned. Mom, I'm not saying I agree with everything she said, Mom continued quickly. But she made some points I couldn't ignore. You did cook for this family for 20 years. You did it well and you did it without complaint, and we never thanked you properly. We never paid you. We never even helped you. And then I asked you to do something genuinely impossible, and I got angry when you refused. You didn't give me a chance to refuse, I said gently. You told me I was doing it, then hung up. I refused by not showing up. I know. And that's on me. I should have asked if you were willing and able. I should have offered to hire help. I should have split the work among multiple people. I should have done a lot of things differently. Yeah. You should have. I'm sorry, Jennifer. I'm genuinely sorry. You deserved better from me. I felt tears prickling my eyes. Thank you for saying that. I can't undo 20 years of taking you for granted. But I want to do better going forward. If you're willing to give me that chance. What does better look like, Mom? It looks like if I want you at a family event, I invite you as a guest, not as staff. It looks like if we want a family meal, we hire a caterer or do a potluck or go to a restaurant. It looks like I see you as my daughter first, not as the person who makes my life easier. It looks like respect. I'd like that, I said softly. Your father is still angry. He might not come around. That's his choice. Will you come to Sunday dinner? Not to cook. Just to eat. Caroline already said she'd handle the meal. She's making lasagna, apparently. It won't be as good as yours, but it'll be hers. I smiled. I'll come. I'm writing this from my apartment on a Sunday evening in September, 6 months after the Easter that never happened. I went to Sunday dinner today. Caroline made lasagna. She was right, it wasn't as good as mine, but it was edible and she made it herself and she seemed proud of it. Marcus brought salad and garlic bread from the store. Mom made dessert. I brought wine and flowers. I didn't cook anything. I didn't serve anyone. I didn't clean up afterward. I sat at the table as a guest, as a daughter, as a person who was valued for her presence, not her productivity. Dad wasn't there. He's still holding his grudge, still insisting I owe the family an apology. Mom says she's working on him, but honestly I don't care if he comes around or not. I'm done waiting for people to decide I'm worthy of respect. The TikTok hashtag Jennifer in the Bahamas still gets occasional new posts. People sharing their own stories of setting boundaries with family, of refusing to be exploited, of choosing themselves. Stephanie still jokes that I'm a social media icon. My business, my actual paid work, is thriving. I developed a new line of restaurant-quality sauces that launched in August and they're selling faster than we projected. I got promoted to senior food scientist. I'm making more money than I ever have and none of it depends on family approval. And I'm planning another vacation. Iceland this time. Solo. Completely for my own enjoyment with no obligations to anyone but myself. Because that's what I learned that Easter. My life is mine. My time is mine. My skills are mine to share or withhold as I choose. And I don't owe anyone access to those things just because we share DNA. The family event didn't fall apart because I wasn't there. The family event fell apart because it was built entirely on my unpaid, unappreciated labor, and when that labor was withdrawn, there was nothing else holding it up. That's not my failure. That's theirs. They wanted Easter dinner? They should have planned Easter dinner. They should have valued the person who'd been making Easter dinner happen for 20 years. They learned that lesson the hard way, standing around an empty kitchen with 80 hungry relatives and a stack of pizza boxes. And I learned mine the easy way, floating in turquoise water under a Caribbean sun, finally free.